Hey everyone, this is Comics for Thomas. I am trying something new. This video, I've been using my cell phone to make videos, and I don't feel that they've been uploading correctly or coming out that well. So this is the first time I'm trying this on my laptop and my laptop camera. I'm gonna have to reach out to some YouTube community to see what they use. If anybody has any suggestions, maybe I assume people use home PC, probably webcam of some type, because they got great videos. So I don't have a lot of light in here as well, but something about cell phone, the quality's not terrible, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm not recording it right or not uploading it right. The videos are getting through, but not to what I want. So I haven't done a video in a few weeks, so I'm going to show you some stuff that I picked up. Sorry about my very shiny face and head. I was in the sun today. I had sunscreen on, but it didn't matter. It was a beautiful day, and I have zero complaints about it. So this is what I've gotten over the last 2 weeks. It's going to be some of my pull list, some stuff I picked up at 2 local comic shops, and a couple raffle wins, actually. One very extremely good raffle win. And I'm actually going to be sending 3 more books to CGC. So I'm going to tell you what I think of the grades are before I send them off. To start, I picked up, and I happened to read this right before Whitewell Comics and John's Comics with Kids did their Wednesday New Comic Book Day reading. So I picked up Sea of Stars, number 1. I'm going to try to find the best opportunity to get no glare here. And there are 2 covers at my LCS, so I picked them both up. And yeah, so I read the story. I liked it. You know, Jason Aaron's very good, obviously. So added it to my pull list, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, worst case scenario, if it doesn't go anywhere, I just stop it, right? So next, this week I continued on with Oblivion Song. This is issue number 17. I really don't know if I'm getting good view here. It's probably because these are bagged and board, and that's a dark cover. I've got Avengers issue 21. It's been very good so far. Pretty neat cover. I like how Thor is kind of pouting over here. It's pretty good. I haven't read these yet, so. And continuing actually with Thor, I have Thor issue 15. I like that cover. That's very, very nice. So, I actually picked up a few books that a friend was selling. He had tagged me in a post on Facebook. Let's see if we can get this camera right. There we go. He's got a wedding coming up, so he's getting rid of some of his books, and I'm obviously taking advantage of that. Not in regards to sales, but in regards to how I'm going to support him, and I'm going to get some good comics on the way. So, this is Strange Tales featuring Warlock issue 25. This is the first Gamora. Very happy to have that in my collection. It's not in super great grade, maybe like a 4 or 5. And he happened to be selling as well the Avengers issue 257, which is their first Nebula. So it was kind of neat. I got the sisters, so both first appearances. He gave me a good price on both of those. The first Nebula is probably in better condition than the first Gamora, maybe a 6 after a press. They both need to be pressed if I sent them away. So let's talk about some books I picked up today. I stopped in a comic shop in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and spent a good 40 minutes in there just kind of going through a lot of their short boxes and some new stuff as well. And got a nice little stack here. So I saw this cover a few weeks ago and figured I'd pick it up this time. This is called Wailing Blade, number 1. I don't know if anybody's read this yet. I have not. I actually don't even know what it's about, but I think it's a pretty cool cover. So, again, if you have read it, let me know in the comments, because I'm going to check it out. Very happy to find this, issue number 1 of 300, Frank Miller. I wouldn't mind getting this set. I think there's 5 of them all together. I'd like to actually have that graded. I think that would look very, very nice. All 5 of them graded would actually be pretty wicked. So, great series that I've read digitally so far, but I've now started to pick up the issue since I've read it and loved it. I already have issue 1, so here is issue 2 of Die. Great looking cover. These are all the Stephanie Hans ones. I got issue 4. I think that's probably the best view I can provide with these lights. I tried turning some lights on, some off. I can't figure it out. And issue 5. So, and these are all just the A covers. Obviously, there's variants and so on that I would like to pick up eventually. I got issue 13 of A Man Called Nova. As I've mentioned before, Nova is my favorite character in comics, and I'm slowly putting together all volumes of Richard Rider's Nova. I'm not doing the Sam Alexander thing. I have no problem with Sam Alexander. I've even read some of it digitally on Marvel Unlimited, but it's all about Richard Rider for me. So another great series, and I'm actually, if I'm reading it digitally, but I've been starting to pick up the issues, but in like no particular order. So I probably haven't even got this far digitally because I try to wait until you can kind of get volumes on sale. But this is Low, issue 20. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I love the art. It's so good. I think his name is Greg Tocchini. Never get it right. And issue 21. Again, dark. These are dark covers, so these are going to be tough to see without getting reflections and so on in there. Again, if anybody can comment, just tell me how things are looking through this camera. And I did see that this just came out this week. I have no idea what it's about, but I've seen in a couple videos that the story's supposed to be pretty good, and it wasn't at my LCS, but in Fredericton today it was. There was about 5 issues, and I know that I know it's been on the hot list for like books that are now like 10 selling for 10 and 15. That doesn't really matter to me. I'm not gonna try to just like flip this. I'm gonna read it, and if I like it, I'm going to add it to my pull list. It's called Reaver. That is issue 1, and that is a pretty cool looking cover right there. So hopefully the story is very good as well, and I will add it. Now, in the last 2 weeks have won a few raffles. I like raffles and through a Facebook group, whatever. So the first one I got, I'm not going to show all the books that I won in that raffle because that specific raffle, it was for a CGC book. It's an older looking case, and just to get people to jump in on because it was a slider. If you know anything about raffles and sliders, she just kept adding more DC books because it's a DC book that I have in my hands right now. I'm not going to show you all of the extra, just filler books and random DC books she sent it with it. But this is 80-page giant #1 DC Comics from 1964, Superman Annual #1. And it's Kurt Swan and George Klein. It's a 3.5. I didn't know they made cases this thick. But here it is. I'm going to try to do my best to get the least amount of reflection on here. Okay. And basically from the cover, it's a bunch of what ifs. What if Superman retired? What if Kent had adopted Supergirl? If Superman had turned to crime? And if Superman couldn't save the world? So, pretty neat. I love the fact that look at how thick that case is. It's crazy. I just haven't seen one, so I didn't realize that they were that thick. That's pretty neat. To me, like I was just showing support, so I threw a couple dollars into that slaughter and ended up winning this, which is great. I'm not a huge DC fan. Nothing wrong with DC. I've mentioned this before. So I can see my actually self like maybe giving this away as like an AOK to someone, maybe in the YouTube community that is a DC fan, or even if any of my friends that that love DC and love Superman, and I like Superman a lot. I'm not saying I don't, but it's not something I need to have in my personal collection. I've won a couple raffles that I don't mind giving away or selling really cheap because I didn't pay much for it. Kind of share the love thing, right? So now this one is a huge win for me. I did not pay a lot to get into this raffle, and this book is in terrible condition. Terrible condition. The guy who put it up said it'd probably be between like a 1 to 1.5, maybe a 1.8. I believe him because it's not good. There's actually a little hole in the cover right under this character's armpit. Like a pressing is going to help. Definitely going to help. But it doesn't matter because this book is not something I would look to like flip. So this is in like my top 5 for personal collection. I've made myself a list of personal collection books, and right now this is in my top 5. I'm constantly, like every week, there's certain comics that I'll put into eBay or anywhere, and just to see, maybe I'll just find a low grade, pick it up real quick. But it doesn't matter now because I got this for a great price, and this will be this is also in my 3 books to send away to get graded. Doesn't need much introduction, but Silver Surfer #1. I couldn't believe when I saw my name as a winner. I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm gonna get this graded. I don't care what the grade comes back. It's not gonna be a 0.5, but it's not gonna be very high, and that's completely fine. I never expected to get a high one. When I'm looking on eBay and anywhere, I'm looking at the lowest grades possible because I'm not going to dish out the money for that. But this it's kind of thick. I don't know how many pages this is, but it seems like a thicker comic than most. I didn't know about that, but I guess it's a big premiere issue. So, I mean, come on, that's fantastic. All right, so those were the 2 raffle wins. Again, that book is going out in this haul to get graded. And I showed this. These other 2 are just from my collection of grading books, like books that I want to get graded. This one here, I'm gonna say it is probably a 9.6, maybe a 9.8. It is something that I will flip. I like the series so far with this character, but I'd like to use this to put money towards other personal collection books. So I have the #1 of Immortal Hulk, but I recently in the last video have bought the first appearance. That is Avengers 684 or Avengers No Surrender #10. And it's an awesome cover, and it would look fantastic graded. It's very, very good condition. The same guy that I bought the Gamora and the first Nebula from, he had sold this to me, and I kind of explained that deal in the last video. So it's in great condition. So there's and it's obviously a hot book, so I have no problem grading and flipping. And then the third book I'm going to send away, I compare this one to when I got my first set of books graded. I was sent 8 books away. I was only really keeping 1 for personal collection. Everything else was expendable. I raffled off 4 of the books like right away, just bang, 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 bang. Made some money off of them, enough to start putting money into sending more books away, which is kind of what half the purpose of this hobby has been for me. But one of those books was called The Magic Order, and it was #1. I love the series. I wanted to have #1 in my personal collection. Didn't really matter what the grade was, but it's a newer book, so you're probably going to get a high grade anyways. It came back as a 9.8. At any time, I would sell that book, no problem. If I knew it would go towards harder books for me to get, for example, like a Silver Surfer #1, if I still needed it, which I don't now, which I'm very happy about, which I will probably say about 8 times during this video. But right now, I don't want to get rid of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. And this right here also, which again, probably come back at a 9.6, 9.4, which, obviously 9.8s are going to get you a lot more money. I don't care. You deal with the book that you have. You deal with what's in front of you. Some books are worth grading, some aren't. I'm going to say this is going to be a personal collection book. Same with the Silver Surfer. The Avengers No Surrender is going to help me pay for, well, not these ones because the last set is helping pay for these get graded, but the next set, and so on and so on. So this is die number 1. I've already mentioned this video already that I already have this, and I've showed it in another video. And it's great. It's a great story, and everybody should check it out. So that is it for me for this video. You'll probably see me in, it seems about every 2 weeks when I have some spare time. And then I've kind of gathered some books. I'm a very, very, very busy person. I work 2 jobs. So sometimes, 1 week I'll buy 2 books, and then all of a sudden, like this week, I've gotten like 12. So once I have enough, I make a video and upload it. So I really appreciate everybody who's been watching. I've up to like 70 subscribers, which is awesome. It's not necessarily what my goal isn't to get as many subscribers as I can, but I love the fact that people are subscribing. I'm subscribing to a bunch of people. People have watched my videos. People have commented, which has been awesome. But I like this because it's almost kind of a diary of the hobby. I'm literally doing a video diary of the ups and downs of my purchasing, my personal collection, my flipping books, and the mistakes and so on, and the wins, or the major wins to me. So I really appreciate it. Again, if you're new to watching any of my videos, please subscribe. I love it. And if not, no big deal. I appreciate you watching. If you like my video, hit like. If you don't like it, hit dislike. I have no problem with that either. And if you're neither, then neither. So, happy Sunday, everybody. Silver Surfer 1. Thank you very much.